From the moment Liam transferred to our school, I was a goner. It wasn't just his looks, though he was ridiculously handsome with that dark, brooding vibe and eyes that seemed to see right through you. It was something else. An aura of mystery, a quiet confidence that drew everyone in. He was the new kid, but he carried himself like he owned the place. I, on the other hand, was practically invisible. Just another face in the crowded hallways of Northwood High. I spent most of my days sketching in my notebook, lost in my own world. But after Liam arrived, my sketchbook filled with drawings of him. His sharp jawline, the way his dark hair fell perfectly over his forehead, the intense look in his eyes when he thought no one was watching. I was obsessed, and I knew it was hopeless. A guy like him would never notice a girl like me. Then, one rainy afternoon in the library, the impossible happened. I was reaching for a book on the top shelf, a dusty old volume of classic poetry, when another hand reached for it at the same time. His hand. I froze, my heart hammering against my ribs. It was Liam. "Sorry," he said, his voice a low, smooth rumble that sent shivers down my spine. "You can have it." He smiled, a small, almost hesitant smile, but it lit up his whole face. I could only stammer something like, "Oh, no, it's okay, you first." We ended up in a clumsy, adorable standoff until the librarian shushed us. He laughed quietly, and the sound was like music. We started talking. About books, about art, about our shared love for old, black and white movies. It was surreal. He was so easy to talk to, so genuinely interested in what I had to say. He'd ask me about my drawings, and I'd show him, my cheeks burning. He'd tell me they were amazing, that I had a real gift. For the first time, I felt seen. Our library meetups became a regular thing. We'd sit in a quiet corner, our heads bent close together over a book, our shoulders occasionally brushing. Each touch was electric. I was falling, hard and fast. But there were strange things about him. He never ate in the cafeteria. He always wore long sleeves, even on the hottest days. And he had this uncanny ability to appear out of nowhere, silent as a shadow. One evening, we were walking home from the library as dusk settled over the town. The streetlights flickered on, casting long shadows. "You're always so calm," I said, trying to make conversation. "It's like nothing ever phases you." He stopped and looked at me, his expression unreadable in the dim light. "Some of us have just been around long enough to see it all." It was a weird thing to say, but I brushed it off. He was just being poetic, right? But then, things got weirder. I started having these incredibly vivid dreams. I was running through a dark forest, the sound of my own heartbeat thundering in my ears. I could feel something chasing me, something fast and relentless. I'd always wake up in a cold sweat, my heart racing, just as it was about to catch me. I also started feeling watched. A prickling sensation on the back of my neck, the feeling of eyes on me when I was alone in my room. I'd look out the window, but there was never anyone there. I told myself I was just being paranoid, that my crush was making me crazy. One Friday night, Liam invited me to a bonfire at Miller's Point, a secluded spot overlooking the town. My friends were ecstatic for me. "This is it," my best friend, Chloe, squealed. "Your big romantic movie moment." I was nervous but excited. This felt like the night everything could change. The bonfire was roaring when I got there. Music was playing, people were laughing. But Liam was nowhere to be seen. I waited, my anxiety growing with each passing minute. An hour went by. Then 2. My heart sank. Had he stood me up? Just as I was about to give up and call for a ride, he appeared at the edge of the woods. "There you are," he said, his voice soft. "Sorry I'm late. I had to take care of something. Come on, I want to show you the view away from all this noise." He led me away from the bonfire, down a narrow path, to a rocky outcrop. The town glittered below us like a carpet of stars. It was beautiful, but a chill crept up my spine that had nothing to do with the night air. We were completely alone. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" he said, his eyes fixed on me, not the view. They seemed darker than usual, almost black in the moonlight.
Yeah.
It is, I whispered, my voice barely audible. He took a step closer. You know, Sarah, there's a reason I was drawn to you. It's not just your art or your mind. There's something special about you. A light. A vitality. His words were flattering, but his tone was predatory. The hairs on my arms stood on end. This wasn't the gentle, bookish boy from the library. This was someone else. Someone dangerous. Liam, you're kind of scaring me, I said, taking a step back. My back hit the cold rock face. I was trapped. He smiled, but it wasn't his usual charming smile. This one was sharp, and for the first time, I saw the tips of his canines. They were unnaturally long. Pointed. My blood ran cold. The dreams, his strange comments, his aversion to sunlight, it all clicked into place, with horrifying clarity. Don't be scared, he purred, closing the distance between us. I've been waiting a very long time for someone like you. My mind screamed vampire. It was insane, impossible, something out of the old movies we used to watch together. But looking into his eyes, which now glowed with a faint, predatory light, I knew it was real. He leaned in close, his cool breath on my neck. I could smell the scent of damp earth and something ancient, like a forgotten tomb. Your heartbeat, he whispered, his voice mesmerizing. It's the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. Panic finally broke through the trance. I shoved him, hard. He stumbled back, surprised by my sudden resistance. It gave me the opening I needed. I didn't think, I just ran. Back up the path, towards the bonfire, towards the light and the noise and the safety of other people. I could hear him behind me, moving with terrifying speed. Branches whipped at my face, my lungs burned, but I didn't dare look back. I burst back into the clearing, screaming. Everyone turned to look. I pointed a trembling finger back towards the woods. Liam. I gasped. He tried to, but when I turned back, the path was empty. He was gone. Vanished as if he'd never been there at all. My friends rushed over, confused and worried. I couldn't explain it. How could I tell them my crush was a vampire and I was supposed to be his next meal? They'd think I'd lost my mind. I let them believe I'd just been spooked by the dark. I never saw Liam again. He didn't come back to school. It was like he had vanished from the face of the earth. The official story was that his family had to move away suddenly. No one questioned it. But I know the truth. Sometimes, late at night, I still feel that prickling sensation on the back of my neck. I look out my window at the moonlit street, half expecting to see a tall, dark figure standing in the shadows, waiting. My crush was a vampire, and I was his target. And the scariest part? I was the one who got away. I wonder if he's still out there, searching for another girl with a light he wants to extinguish. Thanks for listening to my story. It's a crazy world out there, so be careful who you crush on. If you liked this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more crazy true stories. See you next time.